So at Gusto, we are on a mission to empower small and mid-sized businesses to attract and retain top talent, and to do so by helping small and mid-sized businesses help take care of their people, to help take care of their people's health and financial needs. This is so, so important. In the last 10 years, health insurance premiums have gone up 43%. So that is making it a little bit harder for small and mid-sized businesses to offer benefits and attract and retain top talent. As a result, in fact, the percent of small and mid-sized businesses who offer benefits, specifically health benefits, to their employees has gone down 22% in that same period of time. So premiums are up 43%, offer rate by small businesses, and therefore the ability to access care by employees of those small businesses down 22%. Now, as accountants, I know that clients look to all of you and for your expertise on compliance. Like, that is what you do. Compliance, and supporting customers through really tricky, complex topics around compliance. But I also know that they come to you for your financial expertise as well. And they're looking to you to get advice on cash flow, advice on how to manage budgets, advice on where to make investments. And so when premiums go up for your small and mid-sized business clients, many of you may be left wondering, is this in reach for my customers? Am I going to be able to help them grow by attaining and attracting top talent through benefits if they can't afford it? Meanwhile, amidst all of this, talent shortages still exist, and lack of benefits is making it harder to find and retain talent. This is a common theme, right? Both for you and the clients that you support, so for your firms and clients. Just look at the data. 44% of small and mid-sized businesses report having no or few qualified people for their open job recs. Employees also cite that they are 25% less likely to quit a job in their first year if that employer offers them benefits. And they're 40% less likely to do so if they're offered a 401k. Again, meanwhile, amidst all of this, so we've got market trends that are happening. We are also seeing that Americans are not getting the health and financial protection that they need. More and more people are going without care and without support, and more employees are looking to their employers to solve that problem for them. 78% of Americans, the data show, have less than or $50,000 in savings, and 12% of US adults between 18 and 64 have avoided medical care in 2021 because of costs. So we have this amazing need where people are feeling like they have to access health insurance needs or they need to draw against a financial reserve, but they cannot do it. And in some cases, they are delaying necessary medical care because they cannot afford it. Okay, all of this is happening with a compounding and increasingly complex changing legislative environment. Every single year, things are changing in both the health benefits and the retirement benefits space. Since 2017, more than 30 states have considered mandating that employers offer retirement benefits, like a 401k. And 18 states have already put these programs into laws. 49 states already mandate that workers' compensation insurance be provided by an employer. In October in 2023, federal loan repayment programs resumed after COVID, after a COVID-related pause, and with recent legislation that's expanded here, tuition assistance programs are now becoming more and more of a preferred benefit for employees while they're being asked to pay back on their student loans. So this is a collision of stuff happening. Employees are looking to their employers for more help. Everything around is getting more expensive for employers, but meanwhile, employers are trying to find the right people to grow their business, and all of this is changing in terms of complexity as far as legislation is concerned. While all of this is happening, most small to mid-sized businesses have exactly 0 people on their staff that can help them. 0 benefits experts, 0 retirement experts, 0 compliance experts. And how could they? They're small and mid-sized businesses. They have to focus on what they're doing, whether it be running a cafe, whether it be running a bakery. That's what they need to focus on. So they don't have the time, the energy, the money to focus on hiring these amazing experts. So they look to, who do they look to? They look to us. They look to you. They look to Gusto. They look to their accountants. So enter Gusto. This is what we have done, and this is one of the reasons I joined Gusto 10 years ago, was to do just this, to expand and enable access to quality health and financial benefits. Quality financial, health, and wellness benefits that are delivered through a seamlessly integrated platform with guidance and with compliance in mind. We will tackle also the cost and complexity components of healthcare head on. We know the key role that you all play in payroll and compliance. And we know that you are all increasingly playing a bigger role in their lives through client advisory services and providing proactive guidance on anything that they may need to grow and expand their business. So, leveraging financial data and expertise, you all can provide strategic business guidance and advice to help businesses forecast, help them budget, help them grow and plan for growth, and help them come up with the right strategies and create the right conditions whereby they can grow, especially in terms of retaining and attracting amazing talent in a compliant way. So as part of your role in helping clients in all of this, and especially navigating all of the complexity and the compliance components of this, you may realize that a well-thought-through benefit strategy offering and an integrated tech stack, seamlessly integrated, especially with the other people platform components, like payroll, like time tracking, et cetera, that this is just key to their success. You and your clients need a trusted partner. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. You need a trusted partner who can tackle all of these problems in the SMB benefits space in a cohesive way with your best interest in mind. So, Gusto is uniquely positioned to improve the benefits experience for a variety of reasons. I'm going to go through 3 of them. First, we provide intelligent, data-backed guidance to employers and actually to employees to attract and retain talent. We leverage what we know about the industry, what we know about the markets, what we know about the carriers, et cetera, to form opinionated and thoughtful packages. We make the intimidating world of benefits, especially the compliance components, delightsome and actually just kind of running in the background on rails. And then we leverage our scale, our enormous scale of helping nearly 1 million covered members and 35,000 businesses right now to affect the cost curve of benefits and make it more affordable for small businesses. Part of how we will fulfill this objective is through a partnership with you. We know that you're trusted. We know that that employers, small businesses, and your clients come and look to you for support, advice, and guidance. And we want to be there and can be there for you in all of these aspects to make it easy for you to do that, to power these client advisory services in the health benefits and the financial benefits space. So, benefits is complex. At Gusto, we haven't always gotten it right. I mean, it is the US health insurance system, after all. It is a nightmare, right? This guy's nodding like he's gone through it. Yes, it's awful. So, we've also experienced our challenges with it. At Gusto, we are committed to 3 things. We want to enroll the right person at the right time. We want to fix issues quickly when they inevitably arise, because they will arise. It just is the system. And we want to offer expert benefit guidance that match the needs of the small businesses that we support together. As such, we hold ourselves accountable to these metrics. So first, 95% of customers, so small and mid-sized businesses, and their employees and family members are covered at the right time with the right plan, such that when they are going to the doctor's office, they just know, I'm going to be able to get the care that I need. We also hold ourselves accountable today to a 99.5% accuracy rate. We're currently sitting at 98.7. I know I'm looking at a bunch of accounting professionals, and you might be thinking, Riley, in addition to why did you leave the Mr. Clean biz, why are you focusing on 0.8 of a point of accuracy? It's just 0.8 of a point. Well, 0.8 of a point just signals how seriously we're taking this. 0.8 mean 8 people out of every 1,000 can be rest assured that when they show up to a doctor, there's going to be no issue. The only thing they have to worry about is getting the care that they need, not if they're going to be covered, not if it's the right copay or the wrong copay, not if it's in-network or out of network. They just get to go take care of themselves. And then finally, speed. We want to be able to get to you or your client's needs when an issue arises in 60 seconds after calling. This is a little bit better than we are today. We're at about 1 minute and 5 seconds. We're getting better. In fact, you heard Mike earlier today, who's making concerted efforts to make that a reality. And this is down from 40 minutes earlier. So like I said, we have struggled in this space as well, but we have come a long way in regaining the trust of the companies we serve and regaining the trust of the partners like you here in the accounting space. So with all of these improvements and with all of these investments that we've made and our positioning with scale and with technology, we are better positioned than ever to lean in, solve for the fragmentation of this horrendous system, and offer a better experience for the end user. Isn't that what it's all about? Give them the peace of mind to know that they're covered. Give them the peace of mind to know that they're protected if things go wrong. So at Gusto, this means we will make it all seamlessly work for you and your clients. It's just going to work. It's amazing. When you have to call in, you'll get an answer quickly, an expert answer quickly by one of our expert benefit advisors or one of our expert benefit gusties here. And we'll continue to be investing in helping bend down the cost curve. This is a new dimension for us and a new horizon of investment for us. But for the first time ever, we are going to be looking at the scale of customers we have, the data that we have, and find new vehicles of insurance for them that are more affordable than the traditional options, more affordable than the off-the-shelf health insurance plans that you can buy today. Seamless, fast, expert, more affordable, all of that coming together to solve this collision of problems, talent shortages, increased cost of care, increased cost of premium, and compliance and legislative complexity that's being layered on a yearly basis. Now, I've been droning on and on and on because I love talking about health benefits. I literally love it. I talk about it all day long. My wife says, get it out of your system while you're at work because it's just not allowed here. It's just, we're not doing it. So I know that these types of talks can be theoretical at times, which can make it harder to put these concepts into practice and harder to hear the practicality of them. So to help us understand what this actually looks like when a firm starts taking advantage of all of these components from Gusto and building and collaborating directly with us, I wanted to bring up one of Gusto's top firms, a firm that we've developed a really collaborative, really amazing relationship, and have some incredible insights on how not only is it like to offer benefits through Gusto to your firm, but also to the clients you support in a client advisory service way. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Justin Kurn from Dark Horse, and here we go. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you, everybody. My name is Justin Kurn. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at Dark Horse CPAs. I lead our business development, marketing, and front-end sales operation initiatives for our CPAs of the firm. And we actually serve two clients uniquely. The first is the actual CPAs in our practice. We've built a platform-style firm to allow CPAs to build their own practice under the Dark Horse ecosystem. And we support them in serving their clients. Often their clients are small, medium-sized business owners, businesses and their owners, high net worth individuals. We offer tax, accounting, and wealth advisory services, as well as compliance tied to those offerings. We do this nationwide across a variety of different industries, so we've got a lot of exposure to a lot of different types of businesses at different levels of their growth nationwide.
Oh, amazing. Okay, Justin, I'm so excited to have you here. Justin and I have become best friends in the last month as we've been preparing this. We're going to go out for drinks later, I'm sure. But first, I want to hear, how did you get started in this? What was the starting point for you, your firm, and your clients?
Yeah, so the starting point was actually with our firm. So we've been fortunate enough to grow quite a bit over the last 5 years. In 2019, we had about 6 employees. This year, we're on track to hit 130. And our compensation structure for our CPAs is somewhat complex. So payroll is kind of a complete nightmare for us, even with Gusto. Gusto helps a lot. But our internal operations require a lot of effort. The best way I can compare it to something that maybe everybody's familiar with is imagine a partner's compensation structure being reconciled twice a month in a typical firm. And if you couple that with a fragmented benefits administration requirement, it takes a lot of time to run payroll. And this is one thing that we are doing for all of our CPAs and the practices that they run. So it was a total nightmare, took a lot of time. And we're sitting back and thinking, why are we not using Gusto for this? What happened here? It's right in front of us. So we quickly moved to a 401k integration with human interest through Gusto, and then moved on to health insurance benefits. And honestly, I can't even remember what it was like prior to that happening, because it has become such a seamless integration across the board from an internal operational standpoint, but also equally as important was the employee experience. Managing everything under one roof, having the familiarity with Gusto to begin with, that is a very, very powerful offering that often I think business owners think about as the second step, but honestly, it's one of the first. If an employee doesn't have to come to you as much because so much is self-managed, so much is easily understood, they could do things like ask us for their health insurance card, which I didn't even know was possible. That's the kind of stuff that provides real leverage for your internal team to manage benefits as a whole.
Okay, I love it. So you solved it within your own firm first, used that as a testing ground, proved concept, and just go from there. What do you feel like were the key lessons that you learned along the way as you were embarking on that journey for you and your firm?
So the biggest thing for us was we have to come from a place of authenticity, and we need to be able to verify that what we're recommending to our clients as a whole is something that we actually stand behind. And I want to challenge you, how many people here use Gusto for their own company's payroll? Just payroll. I hope everybody's raising their hand. What about benefits integration? Not everyone's raising their hand. I think Will, Tina, somebody needs to write some names down. It's hard to share with a client the benefits of a solution that you have no experience or exposure with at an intimate level. Keep in mind that most of the time, clients that you serve are either matching the size of your firm today or what it was in the past or where it may end up going. You are more closely aligned with your clients than you may think in terms of how you are operating. And if you are not personally going through the same experience that you're recommending, it becomes difficult to share the value. Not impossible, just difficult. And this is coming from the sales side of me. I like to recommend from a place of authenticity. The best way to achieve that is through experiencing the product yourself firsthand. And so that was actually our biggest learning, is that as we expand our partnership with Gusto and what we are offering, we need to expand the services that we are including in our own company in order to authentically share those services with our clients. Because when you do that, it is no longer a sale. It is an advisory recommendation backed by authenticity because we go through it ourselves. And this was the decision-making process that we went through and why we landed here. And that is what a client is ultimately looking for when they're talking to their accountant. That is how you sit in the seat of an advisor and make sure that you're recommending thoughtful and accurate solutions for each of your clients.
I love the spirit of authenticity and being able to back, because based on experience, a recommendation that you have to your customers. Tell me, as you were looking at other options in the market, what did you learn from that? Why did they end up not being a good fit? Why did you ultimately end up choosing Gusto?
I mean, are there other options in the market? Do we even know? Part of this was, yes, do we look at other options? Of course, we have to do some due diligence, but why aren't we going with what we know? Have I ever had an issue with Gusto? Has Gusto ever fallen short in terms of the user experience or the services they provide us? Why would I look elsewhere? Because if the benefits integration matches all the things that we've come to experience on the payroll side and compliance side, why would I seek another solution? What's the gain for us? And I think back to I mean, I'm sure you guys can all remember before, like maybe before Gusto, after Gusto, it's like, oh, there's an aha moment. Thank God I'm now here. I can't believe I did anything different. You're going to have the same feeling in the benefits integration, and I think your clients are going to have that same feeling. One other key component is if we can provide a solution that if at any point something happens to the accountant, and I know this is maybe an unpopular discussion, that I could hand this back to a client and I know that they can self-serve, self-manage, and have control over this item of their business, which is very important. That's the solution I want to go with. Not some locked in a box solution that only I can manage, that if anything happened to me, they're going to be upset at the fact that they can't access or can't manage or can't find some other help. We need to do things that are in the best interests of both parties. And in this case, Gusto is the solution, hands down.
Okay, I love the formula. Started internally, solve for the complexity yourself, bought in, now authentically recommending it to your clients. Tell me, how have you scaled this with your clients, and who have you had the most success with?
So shockingly, it's easier than you guys think. Okay, so there's two paths you can go down. The first and the best is through a client's own self-discovery. Gusto's interface has made it so that a client that is interested and diving into the system is able to discover quite a bit on their own. Now, what are they looking for the account? When they looked at the accountant, what are they actually looking for? They're looking for verification. So a client goes through the system and says, hey, I noticed this. What is this all about? And you go, well, we actually use Gusto benefits, and it is fantastic, and here's what we went through, and here's what we did. And that's all they need. They're looking for someone that they know and trust to verify what they've discovered. That's step one. Step two is in an advisory conversation. I'm having my monthly meeting, quarterly meeting with a client, and we're discussing things. And the way that we like to package what we're discussing is we want to manage and help advise on how money moves within your business, in or out. That is what we do. So one way to do that is to discuss and go down a list of different ways that money moves in or out. And one way money moves out is through benefits. Have you considered it? Are we at a stage in the business where it makes sense? I go, I don't know if I can afford it. Well, guess what? I'm just going to ask Gus. Again, apparently they could do that. Figure out how much it costs to include benefits. And all I'm doing is teasing the idea, keeping it at top of mind. And all you have to do is that until the client says, you know what, that is something I actually want to explore. I think I'm at the right point to see what that takes. Because I've got a misconception, potentially as a client, that it's too expensive, too complicated, and I've got no time. Every client feels the same way. It's too expensive, it's too complicated, I'm not going to do it, got no time to do it, I'm not going to think about it. And if I solve for 3.5 of those things, would you explore it? And that is what we're ultimately offering. And then it's a pass to Gusto to do what you guys do, and the rest is history.
Okay, it sounds like an incredible formula. It's worked for us. I know it's worked for you. And I hear the huge difference that it's not only made in your firm, but also can hear, based on the advisory services you're giving, the difference that it's made for your companies. So these offerings, like I mentioned earlier, they are not without complications. Again, this guy's nodding, right? Give me a nod. Yes, it's the U.S. health system. Okay, so neither Gusto or firms, are requiring handholding. They need the support. They need the guidance. What have been the biggest pain points that you've experienced with benefits and even maybe with Gusto benefits?
So this is something that we as a firm are guilty of, and I think everybody in this room at some point was probably guilty of. But when a client falls off their path, and Riley, I'm going to take a statement that you made in one of our calls, the happiness path, or the happy path. If a client is not sticking to the workflow, the process that we know works, and they've deviated from that path, it is our responsibility to get them back on that path as fast as possible. Because the longer that lingers, things start eroding underneath. It's no longer about the benefits not being the experience they wanted. Now they're discrediting payroll and other items just because of one flaw in the process. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does occur, the biggest thing is to make sure that both parties are working together in getting this client in this edge case scenario back on the happy path to make sure that they are actually achieving the experience we sought out to achieve. And this is not a Gusto issue, it's not a Dark Horse issue, it's an issue for everybody. Client is not experiencing what you set out for them to experience. I have to try as hard as I can and as fast as I can to get them back on that experience. And honestly, of all the clients, I spoke to 10 of our top clients that integrate with Gusto benefits. The only thing one person had said was, you know, when that edge case thing happened, it was kind of difficult to get back on track. And that's one thing I think that we all, again, can work on to make sure that clients are getting the experience that we're seeking from the start.
Okay, I love the concept of a happy path. Powerful UI, powerful platform, amazing experts coming together to solve problems, get people on a happy path if they're not there, and keep them there once they're there. Amazing formula. Okay, I think Justin's story is really highlighting the key role that every advisor here plays for their clients and for small and mid-sized businesses. There's such a big opportunity, an enormous opportunity to positively affect the trajectory of a small and mid-sized business based on the advice that we're giving them and based on how we help them navigate these complex spaces and how businesses can compensate and take care of their teams. And ultimately, like, that's what this comes down to. It's like taking care of real people and real needs in their real lives. So, Justin, I think you're also, like, you're exactly right here. As soon as we solve one customer problem, we win this trust and this right and this position to then go solve a new problem. So when we're solving a payroll problem for our customer, we're already in the room as a trusted advisor to then go think about what's the next thing we might do for them, whether it be Gusto, whether it be an accountant. And benefits is a great next place because it helps them solve so many of their critical business and people problems. Before I dive into some of these issues, I just want to give everybody applause for Justin. Just everyone, give him a big round of applause, not only for being an amazing Gusto partner, but also just, doing the right thing, taking care of the people in his firm and helping his customers stay and grow. Stick around. Okay, what's ahead at Gusto with benefits? There's 3 really exciting problems that we want to solve. So 1, data-driven recommendations on which benefits, whether it be health or financial or wellness, your clients should offer through a new opportunities tab. This doesn't mean like the best package is going to attract the right talent. It also means, how are you going to stay compliant? How are you going to stay out of trouble with all of these regulatory bodies? We understand that many SMBs expect their accounting firms to ensure their compliance, and we want to help you do that in an automated, proactive way. This is why we're building Gusto Pro to be the advisor for advisors, delivering data-driven opportunities for you and your clients. That's coming this fall. We're adding a new opportunities tab to Gusto Pro, which is free and accessible to all Gusto Pro accountants. So check it out. Next, guided in-app advisory when clients are shopping for health benefits, especially when they're doing it for the first time. This is such and probably a scary moment for an SMB. They're about to spend a lot of money and go out on a limb and take a big risk to help take care of their people. We want to be there for them. We are there for them with data-driven recommendations as to what they should do. What is the optimal package that is going to meet their needs, meet the standards and compliance requirements of all of these legislative bodies, and do so in a way that is also in line with their budget. So while data is critical, it's not sufficient. We also need that to be built in to a powerful UI, powerful in-app experience that allows them to take these complex actions right there in one easy place where they're already managing other parts of their business. Lastly, level-funded health plans. I talked about how we were leaning into scale in order to affect the cost of health insurance. Remember, 43% increase in health premiums over the last 20 years. It's becoming increasingly complex and increasingly hard for small businesses to offer. We can't stand for that. We just cannot stand for that. At this rate, no one will be able to afford health insurance. This is why we're leaning into scale in order to offer a new way to insure and take care of people through level-funded health insurance plans. This is a pilot that we're currently engaging with as we speak. So level-funded health plans have been shown to bring down the cost of health insurance by anywhere from 10 to 20% for eligible groups without compromising the quality or the accessibility of the coverage. It's amazing. When we're hearing about 43% increases and now there's new ways to leverage scale, new ways to leverage data, and new ways to leverage expertise to bring down health insurance costs, to solve these problems like talent shortages, to solve these problems like access to healthcare. This is incredible. We are so excited about this. It's been in the works for several years, and we're finally ready for pilot. We could not be more excited to bring this to you and bring this to your customer, to eligible clients. We're beginning to broker these plans, and we'll look forward to sharing more in the coming months. So we'll continue to build on our momentum, deliver the scalable, data-driven solutions, and elegant platform and powerful platform that makes all of this come together to solve these core problems. That's what we're all here to do together, right? This is not a client, or excuse me, this isn't like a customer service provider relationship. We are partners in helping solve some of the biggest, some of the most complex, some of the most worthwhile problems to solve for small businesses, giving them advice and powerful platforms to solve talent shortages, to solve for compliance risk, and to help take care of people's health and well-being. Like, who's got it better than us? Justin, who's got it better than us?
No one.
Nobody's got it better than us. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And with that, we're out of here.